Hello, I'm gonna take these off just so that you can see my face. These are colorblind glasses. I got these for Christmas, for those who don't know on YouTube. So, people are gonna get upset with this video right here as I fix my hair. Because, in all honesty, it's not a popular opinion, so here we go. Alright, so recently, if you don't want to know this about Marvel and their next Spider-Man movie, you don't have to watch this video. But they announced that, spoiler alert, they announced that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire will be in the next Spider-Man movie. That's actually happening. They're also bringing back Doc Ock and Electro, but I have the unpopular opinion of me not being excited for that at all. In fact, I don't like that they're doing it. I understand that they're doing a multiverse thing, but after I did that video on fan service, I don't like this particular thing they're doing in this movie, which is fan service. Now, I don't think it has to do with me not liking fan service. I think it just has to do with the fact that I just don't like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. I think Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movies are the worst Spider-Man movies out of all the ones that have been. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was way better than Tobey Maguire's. Tobey Maguire was a very, very boring Spider-Man. Spider-Man 2 is the most overrated superhero movie of all time. The most overrated. It was not that good. I watched the movie for the first time, and the story was so stupid. I don't like that Peter Parker was just like, I don't want to be Spider-Man. Then he loses his powers, and they have this stupid raindrops are falling on my head moment, which is like with some terrible, terrible editing. And no, I'm not going to say, oh, that's a 2000s thing, because there was way better movies in the 2000s than that, and they weren't that terribly edited. Like, it looked like the movie belonged in, like, the 60s. That's how bad the editing was in that particular scene.
Is this your king? Huh? Is this your king?
The only thing good about Spider-Man 2 was really Doc Ock, and that was it. And if you're gonna go in the comments and argue with me and just be like, oh, but Tobey Maguire is the OG. Just because it's the OG does not mean it is the best. Being the OG or the original has nothing to do with it being good, okay? Just because the first Terminator was the OG doesn't mean it's better than the second Terminator. I will say, if it wasn't for the first Terminator movie, the second one wouldn't have existed, but the first one was a stepping stone for a much better movie. Just like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, it was a stepping stone for much better Spider-Man. So, yeah, just forget the whole OG thing. It's a stupid argument. It really is just a stupid argument. Just because you like it, just because it's the original, is just stupid.
He's an angry elf.
So if you like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, that's okay. I don't care. If you like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, that's okay, but Tom Holland's Spider-Man is the best Spider-Man. That's what Spider-Man should be. But kind of putting all three of these in one movie just really doesn't feel like something that's a good choice. It just feels like something just to put in there, just to put in there. People are probably just gonna watch this movie just to see it happen. It's really just not that exciting. I'm really not excited about it. That's just my opinion. I'm not excited about it. The reason I'm not excited about it is just because I feel like it's just kind of useless. It doesn't really benefit anything to the movie or even the storyline that's going on in Marvel. Having the multiverses of these other movies that came out 20 years ago doesn't really do it for me. Even just like combining movies that had nothing to do with the Marvel Cinematic Universe doesn't make much sense to me. It doesn't make much sense. There's no connection. The Tobey Maguire ones are too old to be this kind of like connected to the MCU. It doesn't make sense. Andrew Garfield was really the only one that could have really connected. If Andrew Garfield's was connected to this, it'd make more sense than Tobey Maguire's. Because Tobey Maguire has like a finale, it's done, it's over. Andrew Garfield's was that it came out during the MCU. So honestly, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's just, I'm not excited for it. I think it just has to do with that I just don't like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. And people just hyping it up just for that is just kind of annoying. I was interested when I heard that it was a rumor, and then when it actually happened, I wasn't that excited. I think that's why. I think it's because the fans then wanted it to happen, and then they did it, that they listened to the fans to do that. Because I feel like a lot of times that fans, they get what they want, and then it doesn't really pay off to be this fantastic thing. It's better to make something where the fans get something they didn't know that they wanted than fans getting something they wanted and then it just being them getting what they wanted. I guess that's why. It's like when you asked for a Christmas present. You asked for what you wanted and you got what you wanted and you were like, oh, I got what I wanted, yay. Then getting a Christmas present that you didn't ask for and then it was something that you did need and then getting excited for it is a much better feeling than just getting exactly what you asked for than being surprised with what you got. I think that's why. It worked better in Into the Spider-Verse because it was its own thing. They had their own Spider-Man. Even the Spider-Man that was in our universe was its own Spider-Man. It wasn't directly connected to any of the Spider-Man that we've seen so far. It was its own thing. And I don't want Spider-Verse to be connected with the MCU. I'm fine with it being just its own storyline because it's really cool that way. And every character that we've never seen in a Spider-Man movie has existed. And that's the other thing, is that Into the Spider-Verse actually had different Spider-Man. The 3 Spider-Man that are going to be in this next Spider-Man movie are not any different than what they've already been. It's just our version of Spider-Man, our universe Spider-Man, and then saying that there's 3 different versions of our universe Spider-Man. That doesn't make sense. If it was Spider-Man Noir in this new movie, then that makes sense, because it's a completely different Spider-Man. That's not the case with all these other 3 Spider-Man. They played Spider-Man. They played the same version of Peter Parker, just in their own way.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Also, I will say this though, in a serious conversation right now, I haven't made a lot of videos in 2020. I'm sorry for the noise in the background. I didn't make a lot of videos 2020 and I feel bad about that. I feel like I haven't really been able to make much stuff recently. I really want to. I love making videos. I want to make more skits. We do have a few skits in planned. And there is a series coming up. If you saw my Therio experiment concept video, I'll put a link right here. That's going to be an actual show. I'm excited to announce that it is going to be an actual show. It is done being written. Now we just got to plan when to film it and what else we need to do. I really want to make more skits. It's just been difficult because usually we'll go out somewhere, but we can't do that without wearing a mask, and that would just kind of ruin the video if we're all wearing masks in a particular video. So it's not easy to do something at home because you're very limited. We'll see what we can do in 2021. We'll see. It's been rough on this channel. It's honestly been rough. But yeah. We'll see what we can do. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and watch out for gangsters.